Warren McCorriston was charged in January this year, 2024, for allegedly attempting to kidnap a 16-year-old girl at Gateshead in 1980. On Wednesday, the 13th of March 2024, more details were revealed in his second committal hearing, which was held at Newcastle Court. In my last video, I suggested that the media may not report on Warren McCorriston's hearing, but that I expected to see reports on Richard and Stephen Mateer's sentencing 2 days after Warren McCorriston's. However, it seems to have been the other way around, as the only report I've found so far was on page 5 of the Newcastle Herald on the 14th of March 2024. This was written by Sam Rigney, who reported the following. Cold case returns to court. Man accused of abduction. A former Queensland tourism executive and resort manager accused of abducting a 16-year-old girl at Gateshead more than 40 years ago has had his matter mentioned in court. Warren John McCorriston, now 62, chose not to appear in Newcastle Local Court yesterday after he was charged in January over the cold case abduction. He has not entered any pleas to 4 charges, including forcible abduction, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and detaining for advantage, and will remain behind bars until the matter is mentioned again in May. Now, that's a little unusual because he's actually behind bars for other crimes and is not eligible for parole until at least July this year anyway. So, yeah. So he's remaining behind bars anyway. I'll continue. McCorriston was arrested this year as part of Strike Force Arapaima, which was launched in 2019 to reinvestigate the unsolved murders of Lake Macquarie teenagers Robin Hickey, Amanda Robinson, and Gordana Katevsky. As part of the re-examination into those cases, police said they received new information about an abduction at Gateshead that led them to Mr. McCorriston. He is accused of abducting the teenage girl at Gateshead between January and March 1980, which is less than a year after Ms. Hickey and Ms. Robinson disappeared. Now, I won't read the rest of the article, but I'll just quickly summarise anyway. Basically just goes on to say that in August 2021, there was a search and excavation at the scout camp at Nords Wharf, which was related to Robin Hickey and Amanda Robinson's disappearance. And the disappearance occurred in April 1979. It mentions Gordana Katevsky, who was taken at Charlestown in 1994, but it's considered her disappearance isn't related to the other two. It doesn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. And then it just says at the end, no one was charged for those disappearances. So the main new points of information we had there was that Warren McCorriston chose not to appear in court and he hasn't entered any plea yet. And that the alleged abduction of the 16-year-old girl was in the first 3 months of 1980, which is in the period January to March. Now, this is interesting. There's a few interesting little points I noted there, or have noted from other things, and that is that the alleged attempted rape of Lynda Ray, who I've discussed in previous videos, that occurred at Whitebridge on the 27th of March 1980. So it's basically at pretty much the same time, or within a couple of months, of this other alleged abduction. Now, with Lynda Ray's case, we can have our personal opinions about whether he did attempt to rape her or not, but when it went to trial in August 1981, he was actually acquitted of that offence because basically he acknowledged there was an incident that occurred at the time and at the location, but he has a different story to what occurred, to what Lynda Ray says. Yeah, so basically it was considered there wasn't enough to convict him. And just a little side note with Lynda Ray, she unfortunately passed away in November 2022. But at least she did get to see Warren McCorriston end up behind bars, even if it wasn't for the alleged offence against her. Okay, another little thing I noted, it may not be related to Warren McCorriston, but 3 weeks before he was acquitted of that rape, there was an article on page 7 of the Newcastle Herald that seemed a little interesting considering his history, or the incident he had with Lynda Ray was also at Whitebridge as this other incident. The headline is "Girl Attacked in Bushland." Police believe that quick action by school teachers may have averted a rape attempt on a schoolgirl at Whitebridge on Wednesday. A girl, 16, was attacked on her way to Whitebridge High School on Wednesday morning, police said yesterday. The girl was walking through bushland near the school, and her cries for help were overheard by 2 school teachers. When the teachers ran towards the girl, the attacker ran away through the bush. The girl described the man to police as being about 20 years old, and Warren McCorriston was 20 at the time, 170 centimetres tall, solid build, with long brown hair. Now, I don't know what his appearance would have been like at 20. The only photos I've really seen are one when he was about 13 and the others when he's in his 50s. But anyway, 170 centimetres tall. It's not very tall. It's actually the same height as me. But from footage that was taken at about the time of his initial arrest at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020, comparing his height to other people, I would say that's probably about his height. Now, with that incident, I don't know if they did find someone, could be someone else, might already be sold, but does seem a bit coincidental that as it's only about a kilometre or so from the alleged incident, or I can actually say incident because he did acknowledge it, but he said the circumstances were different. But anyway, that incident was only about a kilometre or so from Whitebridge High School. So very close location. Would have to say he's pretty game to be doing that if it was him, just a few weeks before the end of his other trial in the similar location, but maybe he was very game to do that sort of thing at the time. But yeah, as I said, I don't know that that's connected to him. I assume if they hadn't found someone at the time, Strikeforce Arapaima might have already cross-referenced that and to see if they could tie that to him or not. I have also noted in the last week or so that someone has put a comment on one of my videos about Warren McCorriston and their opinion that he's probably responsible for a lot more other unsolved crimes. So this could be one or not, but yeah, we'll see, possibly. But anyway, just one final point before I wind up. Yes, so the hearing for the Mateer brothers, which was on the 15th of March 2024, I have not seen or located any media reports on that at the time of recording this, which is the 17th of March. I can only assume very little happened that was worthy of the media reporting. So possibly all that really happened was maybe that report from the neuropsychologist may have just been submitted and that was it. Or maybe they haven't even got that yet and it's just been delayed further, but I'm sure something will come up. This is Future David. Since recording this video, I have checked the court lists and Stephen Mateer has an upcoming hearing for his sentence on the 19th of March. Richard Mateer is not listed as being part of the sentence hearing, so I'm a bit concerned there, especially since I see that he has a new case number with a brief status for a committal hearing that is to occur on the 3rd of April. I'd normally think that would mean there were some new charges, but because he's not listed as part of the sentence hearing that Stephen is having, I'm becoming concerned that he was considered unfit for trial and they have to start the whole process again to have a special hearing. Hopefully that's not the case, but I have a strong feeling that may be what has happened. But anyway, back to the original video. Oh yeah, one other point that I didn't mention or reiterate with Warren McCorriston's hearings. Yeah, the next one won't be until May. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoy my videos, and if you would like to see more, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified when I upload future videos. I'm David A. Elliott. Have a good one and see you around like a ristle.